A decade of shifting sands crime in the U.S. The United States has grappled with crime for decades. From the bustling streets of New York to the quiet rural towns of the Midwest, crime has left its mark on every corner of the nation. Each region tells a different story, yet they are all interconnected by the broader trends that shape the country's criminal landscape. Over the past 10 years, the landscape of crime has shifted. Urban areas have seen both spikes and declines in various types of crime, while rural areas have faced their own unique challenges. The evolution of crime is a complex narrative influenced by numerous factors, including economic conditions, law enforcement strategies, and social changes. Trends have emerged, some encouraging, others concerning. For instance, while violent crime rates have seen a general decline, certain types of crime, such as cybercrime and drug-related offenses, have surged. These trends reflect the changing nature of criminal activity and the evolving tactics of those who commit crimes. This essay delves into the intricate reality of crime in the U.S., examining data and dissecting public perception. By analyzing statistics and understanding the stories behind the numbers, we can gain a clearer picture of the true state of crime in America. Public perception often differs from reality, influenced by media coverage and personal experiences. The years between 2014 and 2024 have been a roller coaster. Economic fluctuations, political changes, and social movements have all played a role in shaping crime trends during this period. Each year brought new challenges and developments, making it a decade of significant transformation. We've seen periods of relative peace and sudden spikes in violence. Suburban neighborhoods have enjoyed stretches of tranquility, while urban centers have occasionally erupted in chaos. These fluctuations highlight the unpredictable nature of crime and the factors that can trigger sudden changes. Understanding these fluctuations requires careful analysis. By studying the data and considering the broader context, we can identify patterns and potential causes. This knowledge is crucial for developing effective strategies to combat crime and enhance public safety. We must look beyond the headlines and delve into the numbers. Sensational news stories often capture attention, but they don't always provide a complete picture. A deeper examination of crime statistics reveals the underlying trends and helps us understand the true scope of the issue. This period also witnessed the rise of the opioid crisis, a slow-moving disaster. The epidemic has had far-reaching consequences, affecting not only those directly involved, but also their families and communities. It has strained public health systems and law enforcement agencies, creating a multifaceted challenge. This epidemic has ravaged communities and fueled a surge in drug-related crime. The increase in drug abuse has led to higher rates of theft, violence, and other criminal activities as individuals seek to support their addictions. The impact on communities has been devastating, with long-term social and economic repercussions. From prescription painkillers to deadly fentanyl, the impact of drugs on the criminal justice system cannot be overstated. Law enforcement agencies have had to adapt to new challenges, developing specialized units and strategies to combat the growing threat of drug-related crime. This essay will explore these trends, providing a clear picture of crime in the U.S. over the last decade. By understanding the past, we can better prepare for the future, developing policies and practices that address the root causes of crime and promote a safer society for all. The shadow of perception: public fear versus facts. Public perception of crime often diverges from reality. Many people believe that crime rates are soaring, driven by the constant stream of alarming news stories and sensational headlines. Media coverage, political rhetoric, and personal experiences can skew our understanding. The news often highlights the most shocking and violent incidents, which can create a distorted view of the overall crime landscape. While it's crucial to acknowledge the very real impact of crime on victims, it's equally important to ground our understanding in facts. Victims' stories are powerful and necessary, but they represent individual experiences rather than the broader trend. FBI data reveals a general downward trend in violent crime over the past 2 decades. This data is collected meticulously and provides a more accurate picture of crime rates than anecdotal evidence. However, this trend is not always reflected in public discourse. Politicians and activists may use fear of crime to advance their agendas, often ignoring the broader statistical trends. Sensationalized news stories and political agendas often amplify fear, creating a perception of rampant lawlessness. This can lead to a heightened sense of insecurity among the public. This disconnect between perception and reality can be harmful. When people believe crime is worse than it is, they may support policies that are not necessarily effective or just. It can lead to misguided policies, strained community relations, and a diminished sense of safety. Communities may become divided, and resources may be allocated based on fear rather than need. By separating fact from fiction, we can foster a more informed and productive conversation about crime in America. Understanding the true nature of crime trends allows for better policy decisions and a more cohesive society. Violent tides, examining the peaks and troughs. While the overall trend in violent crime has been downward, specific years have witnessed alarming spikes. Understanding these fluctuations is key to developing effective crime prevention strategies. 2020, the year the COVID-19 pandemic gripped the world, saw a significant surge in homicides across U.S. cities. Experts attribute this spike to a confluence of factors, including economic hardship, social isolation, and the disruption of social services. Conversely, the years following 2020 saw a decline in violent crime rates. This suggests that the factors contributing to the 2020 surge were likely temporary. However, the 2020 spike serves as a stark reminder of the volatility of crime rates and the need for adaptable crime prevention measures. The pandemic effect. Crime in the time of COVID. The COVID-19 pandemic had a profound impact on American society, and its effects on crime were undeniable. As the virus spread, cities and towns across the nation went into lockdown, creating an eerie silence in once bustling streets. Lockdowns, economic uncertainty, and social isolation created a perfect storm for certain types of crime to flourish. With businesses shuttered and millions out of work, the desperation grew, leading to a rise in property crimes and theft. The closure of schools and businesses led to increased opportunities for property crime. Empty buildings became easy targets for burglars, and the lack of witnesses made it easier for these crimes to go unnoticed. Domestic violence incidents rose as families were confined to their homes under immense stress. The pressures of job loss, financial strain, and constant proximity created a volatile environment for many households. The pandemic also exacerbated existing social inequalities, making vulnerable communities even more susceptible to crime. In low-income areas, the lack of resources and support systems intensified the struggles, leading to higher crime rates. While the full impact of the pandemic on crime rates is still being studied, it's clear that COVID-19 had a significant and multifaceted impact. Law enforcement agencies faced new challenges, from enforcing lockdown measures to dealing with increased crime rates. Understanding this impact is crucial for developing strategies to address the root causes of crime and build safer communities. By analyzing the data and learning from this unprecedented time, we can work towards a more resilient and equitable society. Section 5. Beyond the headlines. A deeper dive into crime stats. To fully grasp the complexities of crime in the U.S., we must go beyond the headlines and delve into specific crime statistics. Data from the FBI and the Council on Criminal Justice provides valuable insights into trends in specific offenses. For instance, while the overall homicide rate has declined, certain cities have experienced significant increases in recent years. This highlights the importance of understanding crime trends at a local level. Similarly, while some property crimes like residential burglaries have decreased, others, like motor vehicle thefts, have seen an uptick. These variations underscore the need for targeted interventions that address the specific challenges faced by different communities. Section 6. The opioid crisis, a slow-burning national emergency. The opioid crisis has cast a long shadow over the United States for over 2 decades. What began as an increase in prescription painkiller abuse has morphed into a complex public health crisis fueled by powerful synthetic opioids like fentanyl. The overprescription of opioids in the late 1990s led to widespread dependence and addiction. As prescription opioids became more difficult to obtain, many turned to cheaper and more readily available heroin. This epidemic has fueled a rise in drug-related crime, including theft, robbery, and trafficking. The human cost of this crisis is immeasurable, with countless lives lost to overdoses and families torn apart by addiction. Section 7. Fentanyl, a new danger on the streets. The emergence of fentanyl has further complicated the opioid crisis. Fentanyl is a synthetic opioid up to 100 times more potent than morphine. It's often mixed with other drugs, making it difficult for users to know what they're ingesting. This potent drug has driven a surge in overdose deaths. Its cheap production and ease of trafficking have made it a lucrative market for criminal organizations. Combating the fentanyl epidemic requires a multi-pronged approach. This includes increased access to addiction treatment, public education campaigns about the dangers of fentanyl, and law enforcement efforts to disrupt trafficking networks. Section 8. Seeking solutions, data, community, and collaboration. Addressing the complex issue of crime in the United States requires a multifaceted approach rooted in data, community engagement, and collaboration. Data-driven solutions are essential for identifying crime hotspots, understanding the factors that contribute to crime, and evaluating the effectiveness of interventions. Community involvement is equally crucial. Building trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve is essential for effective crime prevention. Collaboration between law enforcement, social service providers, and community organizations is also key. By working together, these stakeholders can address the underlying social and economic factors that contribute to crime. Section 9. A Safer Tomorrow: Hope and Action in the Face of Crime. While the challenges posed by crime are significant, they are not insurmountable. By embracing data-driven solutions, fostering community engagement, and promoting collaboration, we can create a safer tomorrow for all Americans. It's important to remember that behind the statistics are real people whose lives have been impacted by crime. By working together, we can build a society where everyone feels safe and secure in their communities. The fight against crime is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It requires sustained effort, adaptability, and a commitment to justice and equity. By working together, we can create a brighter future for all. Hey everyone! Today I'm diving into a huge Supreme Court decision that's shaking up the world of firearms. We're talking about ghost guns. You've probably heard the term before, but let's break it down. Ghost guns are essentially DIY firearms that lack serial numbers, making them untraceable and often sold without background checks. They're a big deal because they can be assembled from kits or even 3D printed. So, what's the latest? On March 26, 2025, the Supreme Court upheld a regulation from the ATF that tightens the reins on these ghost guns. In a 6-3 decision, the court said that key parts of ghost guns, like the frame and receiver, must be treated as firearms under federal law. This means they need serial numbers and must be sold by licensed dealers who conduct background checks. Let's talk about why this matters. Law enforcement agencies have been finding more and more ghost guns at crime scenes in major cities like Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago. These guns have been linked to a rise in violent crimes. The ATF made this regulation to try and curb that trend, and the Supreme Court backed them up. Now, this wasn't without controversy. Manufacturers and gun rights advocates took the federal government to court, arguing that this rule overstepped legal boundaries and infringed on Second Amendment rights. But the Supreme Court didn't agree. They said the ATF acted within its authority because public safety concerns justified tighter oversight. Chief Justice John Roberts even called ghost guns a unique and growing threat. This ruling is a win for the Biden administration, which has prioritized reducing gun violence. Attorney General Merrick Garland praised the decision, saying it would save lives and make our communities safer. On the flip side, groups like the Firearms Policy Coalition condemned the ruling, warning it could lead to more government control over individual freedoms. So, what does this mean moving forward? This decision is likely to embolden federal agencies to enforce stricter rules on firearms. It also sets a clear precedent for how new technologies like 3D printing will be regulated when it comes to guns. Licensed gun sellers will need to follow stricter regulations, while unlicensed vendors could face serious penalties. In conclusion, the Supreme Court has drawn a definitive line. Ghost guns are guns, and they must be regulated as such. It's a significant moment in the ongoing debate over gun control, and we'll be watching closely to see how it plays out. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates. Catch you next time.
The grand stage of the UEFA Champions League quarter-final is set. The air is thick with excitement and anticipation as fans from around the globe turn their eyes to this monumental clash. Two of Europe's most decorated clubs, Arsenal and Real Madrid, are ready to lock horns on Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. This is more than just a game. It's a meeting of footballing giants, each with a rich history and a burning desire to advance. The Emirates Stadium in London will be a cauldron of anticipation as the first leg of this epic encounter kicks off at 1900 hours local time. The stadium, known for its electrifying atmosphere, will be packed to the rafters with passionate supporters, each hoping to witness history in the making. This is not just a battle for a semi-final spot, it's a clash of philosophies, legacies and ambitions. Both teams have their eyes set on the ultimate prize, and neither will back down without a fight. Arsenal, rejuvenated under their young manager, are looking to reclaim their place among Europe's elite. With a blend of youthful exuberance and experienced campaigners, they have the tools to challenge any opponent. Real Madrid, the 15-time Champions League winners, are aiming for yet another triumph in their quest for continental dominance. The atmosphere is electric, the tension is palpable. With a squad brimming with talent and experience, they are the team to beat. This is Arsenal versus Real Madrid, and the world will be watching. Every pass, every tackle, every goal will be scrutinized as these two titans of football go head-to-head in a match that promises to be unforgettable. The Emirates Stadium has been a fortress for Arsenal this season. The Gunners have been virtually impenetrable at home, conceding a meagre average of 0.6 goals per game in the Champions League. Their defensive solidity is built on a foundation of tactical discipline and individual brilliance. David Raya in goal has been in exceptional form, pulling off crucial saves and commanding his area with authority. His ability to thwart Real Madrid's attacking prowess will be crucial for Arsenal's hopes. The Gunners' faithful will create a deafening roar, urging their team forward. The Emirates will be rocking, and the players will be feeding off the energy of the crowd. This is their fortress, their stage to shine. Arsenal's attack is as potent as their defence is resolute. Their set-piece threat is among the best in Europe, and they will be looking to exploit any opportunity from dead-ball situations. Martin Odegaard, the captain, will be the orchestrator in midfield, his vision and passing range a constant threat to the Real Madrid defence. Bukayo Saka's pace and trickery on the wing will be a constant menace, while Gabriel Martinelli's direct running and eye for goal will keep the Real Madrid backline on their toes. The Gunners boast a strong collective spirit, with each player understanding their role to perfection. Their ability to press high, win the ball back quickly, and transition into attack with speed and precision has been a hallmark of their play this season. However, Arsenal's preparations have been hampered by a spate of injuries. Key players like Gabriel Jesus, Kai Havertz, and Takehiro Tomiyasu are all sidelined, which will undoubtedly test the depth of the squad. The absence of these players, particularly Jesus' goal-scoring threat and Havertz's creativity, will be a significant blow. Manager Mikel Arteta will have to rely on his fringe players to step up and fill the void. Despite the injury concerns, Arsenal's squad possesses quality and experience. The likes of Edin Nketiah and Fabio Vieira have shown their capabilities in previous matches and will be eager to prove their worth on the biggest stage. Section 5. The Los Blancos, Juggernaut, Strengths and Tactics. Real Madrid, on the other hand, arrive in London as the reigning European champions. Their pedigree in this competition is unmatched, and they will be confident of overcoming the challenge posed by Arsenal. Carlo Ancelotti, the wily Italian tactician, has instilled a winning mentality in his squad. They are a team that knows how to grind out results, even when not playing at their best. Real Madrid's strength lies in their midfield, where the evergreen Luka Modric continues to defy his age with his exceptional passing range, dribbling skills and game intelligence. Alongside him, Eduardo Camavinga and Federico Valverde provide energy, dynamism and defensive solidity. Section 6. Chinks in the armour. Real Madrid's vulnerabilities. Despite their formidable reputation, Real Madrid are not invincible. Their recent form has been inconsistent, and they have shown a vulnerability to set pieces, conceding 10 goals from corners this season. This is an area that Arsenal will undoubtedly look to exploit. The absence of the suspended Aurelien Tchouameni, a key cog in their midfield, will be a blow for Real Madrid. His ability to break up play and shield the defense will be missed. Furthermore, the potential absence of Thibaut Courtois in goal, though likely to return, would be a significant loss for Los Blancos. His experience and shot-stopping ability are crucial for their defensive stability. Section 7. A glimpse into the past head-to-head and recent form. Historically, Arsenal have a good record against Real Madrid in the Champions League, having won their only previous encounter in the 2005-2006 season. That memorable match saw Thierry Henry score a stunning solo goal at the Santiago Bernabeu, a moment that still lives in the hearts of Arsenal fans. The Gunners' defensive resilience and tactical discipline were key to their success in that tie. However, that was a different era, and this Real Madrid team is a different beast altogether. With a squad brimming with world-class talent and a winning mentality, they have consistently been one of the top teams in Europe. Their recent form has been impressive, showcasing their ability to dominate games and score crucial goals when it matters the most. Both teams come into this match on the back of contrasting results. Arsenal, under their new manager, have shown a renewed sense of purpose and determination. Their attacking play has been fluid and their defense has looked solid. On the other hand, Real Madrid have had a few hiccups but have managed to grind out results, demonstrating their experience and resilience. Arsenal cruised past PSV Eindhoven 9-3 on aggregate in the previous round, displaying their offensive prowess and ability to control the game from start to finish. Their midfield has been particularly impressive, dictating the tempo and creating numerous scoring opportunities. While Real Madrid needed penalties to overcome a spirited Atletico Madrid side, the match was a tense affair with both teams having their chances, but Real Madrid's composure in the shootout saw them through. Their goalkeeper was the hero, making crucial saves that kept their Champions League hopes alive. While past results and current form offer some insight, they are not always reliable indicators of future performance. Football is an unpredictable game, and anything can happen on the day. The tactical battle between the managers will be fascinating to watch, as both will look to exploit the other's weaknesses. This match will be won and lost on the pitch, where individual brilliance and tactical acumen will be the deciding factors. Players will need to rise to the occasion, and moments of magic could turn the tide in favor of one team. Fans around the world will be eagerly watching, hoping for a thrilling encounter that lives up to the rich history of these two great clubs. Section 8. The pundits' verdict, predictions and possibilities. The pundits are divided in their predictions for this match. Some believe that the tactical acumen of both managers will play a crucial role in determining the outcome. The debate is intense, with each expert bringing their own perspective and analysis to the table. Some favour Arsenal's home advantage and attacking prowess, pointing to their recent form and the electric atmosphere at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners have been in scintillating form, with their forwards showing great chemistry and finishing ability, while others believe Real Madrid's experience and individual quality will prove too much for the Gunners. The Spanish Giants have a rich history in European competitions, and their squad is filled with seasoned players who know how to handle high-pressure situations. The Opta supercomputer gives Arsenal a slight edge, with a 41.7% chance of winning the first leg. This prediction takes into account various factors such as recent performances, player statistics, and historical data, with a 41.7% chance of winning the first leg compared to Real Madrid's 31.1%. This slight edge for Arsenal reflects their strong home record and current form, compared to Real Madrid's 31.1%. However, it's important to note that Real Madrid's experience in knockout stages could be a decisive factor. However, the draw at 27.2% is a real possibility, especially given the high stakes and the quality of both teams. A draw would set up an intriguing second leg with everything to play for, especially given the high stakes and the quality of both teams. Both sides have world-class players capable of changing the game in an instant, making it difficult to predict a clear winner. One thing is certain, this match promises to be a tactical battle of the highest order. The strategies employed by both managers will be under the microscope as they look to outwit each other and gain the upper hand. The midfield battle in particular will be fascinating, with both teams boasting some of the best midfielders in the world. The control of the midfield could very well determine the flow and outcome of the match, with the likes of Odegaard, Modric and Camavinga all vying for supremacy. Their individual brilliance and ability to dictate play will be crucial in this high-stakes encounter. Section 9, the final whistle, a night for legends. As the final whistle blows, one team will be celebrating, while the other will be left to rue missed opportunities. This is the beauty of the Champions League, where the margins are fine and the pressure is immense. This is a match that has all the ingredients to be an instant classic, a match that will be etched in the memories of fans for years to come. It's Arsenal versus Real Madrid, and it's a night for legends to be made. The world will be watching, and the stage is set for a memorable encounter.
The Midwest is reeling. A monstrous storm system unleashed its fury, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. From the plains to the Ohio Valley, a nightmarish tableau of destruction unfolded. Tornadoes, those terrifying funnels of wind, tore through communities with brutal force. Homes and businesses were reduced to rubble in an instant. The deluge of rain triggered widespread flash flooding. Rivers and creeks overflowed their banks, transforming streets into raging torrents. Cars were swept away like toys, homes inundated with muddy water. It's a stark reminder of the power of nature and the vulnerability of even the most sturdy human creations. The storm system spawned a deadly outbreak of tornadoes, wreaking havoc across the heartland of America. Some of these tornadoes were classified as powerful EF3S on the enhanced Fujita scale, capable of causing severe damage to well-built structures. These whirling dervishes of destruction carved a path of devastation across multiple states, leaving behind a trail of chaos and despair. In McNairy County, Tennessee, an EF3 tornado left a community in ruins, with residents grappling with the aftermath of the storm. Homes were obliterated, businesses ripped apart, and trees snapped like twigs, illustrating the sheer power of these natural disasters. The storm's power was evident in the 332 buildings damaged, a testament to the ferocity of the winds. With 108 completely destroyed, the community faces a long road to recovery. The small town of Mayfield, Kentucky, knows the wrath of tornadoes all too well, having faced numerous storms over the years. In December 2021, a monstrous EF4 tornado ripped through the town, leaving behind a scene of unimaginable destruction and heartbreak. The landscape was devastated, with homes, businesses, and lives shattered in an instant. This recent storm, though not as powerful, still managed to inflict fresh wounds on a community still struggling to recover from past disasters. The scars of these tornadoes, both physical and emotional, will take years, if not decades, to heal. Communities are banding together, showing resilience and determination as they rebuild their lives and homes. While tornadoes garner the headlines, it was the relentless rain that brought the most widespread devastation. Days of torrential downpours overwhelmed rivers and creeks, leading to catastrophic flash flooding. In Kentucky, the rain just wouldn't quit. Over a foot fell in some areas, turning roads into rivers and fields into lakes. The Ohio River surged over its banks in Louisville, turning the city's waterfront into a churning brown sea. Hopkinsville, Kentucky, found itself under siege as floodwaters rose rapidly, submerging entire neighborhoods. Homes were inundated, businesses swamped, and residents forced to flee to higher ground. The scale and swiftness of the flooding left many residents with little time to react, underscoring the terrifying power of these sudden, deluge-driven disasters. Tragically, the storm system claimed the lives of at least 20 people across multiple states. Behind these statistics lie stories of heartbreak and loss. In Kentucky, a 9-year-old boy was swept away by floodwaters, his life cut tragically short. Gary Moore, a dedicated fire chief from Missouri, lost his life while responding to a water rescue, a testament to the courage of first responders who risk their lives to save others. The death toll is a grim reminder of the human cost of these disasters. Families are left to grieve the loss of loved ones, their lives shattered by the capriciousness of nature. The emotional toll of these events extends far beyond the immediate victims. Entire communities are left grappling with trauma, loss, and the daunting task of rebuilding their lives from scratch. The storm's impact went far beyond the immediate destruction of homes and businesses. It crippled critical infrastructure, leaving communities reeling from the aftershocks. Power outages plagued millions across the South and Midwest, Downed power lines, damaged substations, and overwhelmed grids left homes and businesses in the dark. In Arkansas alone, over 54,000 customers were without power. Transportation ground to a halt as roads were washed out, bridges collapsed, and railways were rendered impassable. A BNSF railroad bridge in Mammoth Spring, Arkansas, collapsed under the force of the floodwaters, derailing a train and disrupting a vital artery for commerce. These infrastructural failures highlight the interconnectedness of our modern world and the cascading impacts that natural disasters can have on our lives. Section 6. A Nation Responds, FEMA and Local Heroes. In the aftermath of the storms, a massive relief effort swung into action. The devastation left behind was overwhelming, but the response was swift and coordinated. Emergency response vehicles arrived in droves, and communities began the arduous task of cleaning up debris. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, is on the ground in affected areas, working to coordinate disaster assistance and provide much-needed aid. Their teams are setting up temporary shelters, distributing essential supplies, and offering support to those who have lost everything. The presence of FEMA is a beacon of hope for many. State and local officials have been working tirelessly to respond to the disaster. They are holding emergency meetings, inspecting the damage firsthand, and coordinating relief efforts to ensure that help reaches every corner of the affected areas. Their dedication and leadership are crucial in these trying times. Emergency crews have been conducting search and rescue operations, plucking stranded residents from rooftops and flooded homes. These brave men and women are risking their lives to save others, navigating treacherous floodwaters, and ensuring that no one is left behind. Volunteers have stepped up to offer a helping hand, distributing food, water, and other essential supplies to those in need. Their selfless actions are making a significant difference, providing comfort and relief to those who are struggling in the wake of the disaster. The spirit of community shines brightest in times of crisis, and the people of the Midwest have shown their resilience and compassion in the face of this disaster. Neighbors are helping each other clean up, communities are gathering to support one another, and residents are consoling each other, proving that together, they can overcome any challenge. The road to recovery will be long and arduous, but with the support of FEMA, local authorities, and countless volunteers, these communities will rebuild and recover. Construction crews are already hard at work, and community members are coming together to repair the damage. The resilience and determination of these communities are truly inspiring, and they will emerge stronger from this ordeal. Section 7. The deluge continues. Forecasts and ongoing risks. Even as the immediate threat from tornadoes has subsided, the danger is far from over. The recent storms have left a trail of destruction, and the recovery process is just beginning. Communities are still grappling with the aftermath, and the weather continues to pose significant risks. The National Weather Service warns of continued risks of flash flooding, severe weather, and potential tornadoes in parts of the South. The ground is saturated, and rivers and streams are swollen to capacity. With the ground unable to absorb any more water, even moderate rainfall could trigger additional flooding, prolonging the misery for those already impacted. The agricultural fields are particularly vulnerable, with crops at risk of being washed away, leading to potential food shortages in the affected areas. Homes that have already been damaged are at risk of further flooding, making it crucial for residents to take all necessary precautions. Volunteers and emergency services are working tirelessly to provide aid, but the scale of the disaster means that help may not reach everyone in time. The NWS is urging residents to remain vigilant, heed all warnings and evacuation orders, and avoid flood-prone areas. Staying informed and prepared can make a significant difference in ensuring safety. Evacuation orders should be taken seriously, as the threat of severe weather is expected to persist throughout the week. This is a stark reminder that Mother Nature often delivers her blows in relentless succession. The forecast indicates that more storms are on the horizon, and the situation could worsen before it gets better. This is a time for caution, preparedness, and heeding the advice of experts. It's essential to have emergency kits ready and to know the safest routes for evacuation. Communities must come together, supporting one another through these challenging times. This is not just about individual safety, but about collective resilience. Listening to weather experts and participating in community preparedness meetings can provide valuable information and resources. It's a time to look after our neighbors, especially the elderly and vulnerable, ensuring they have the support they need. Offering a helping hand to those in need can make a world of difference. Together we can weather the storm and emerge stronger. Section 8. Echoes of the Past, Omens for the Future. Tragically, the recent devastation in the Midwest is not an isolated incident. Communities in this region have been battered by extreme weather events with alarming regularity in recent years. Falmouth, Kentucky, which faced catastrophic flooding nearly 30 years ago, is once again underwater. Less than 4 years ago, eastern Kentucky was devastated by historic floods. These recurring disasters highlight the growing threat of extreme weather events fueled by climate change. As the planet warms, the atmosphere holds more moisture, leading to more intense rainfall and an increased risk of flooding. The Midwest, once known for its predictable weather, is now on the front lines of the climate crisis, facing a future of more frequent and severe storms. Section 9. The New Normal, Confronting the Rise of Extreme Weather. The recent devastation in the Midwest is a wake-up call. It's a stark reminder that climate change is not a distant threat. It's a reality we are living with today. As the planet continues to warm, we can expect more extreme weather events, from scorching heat waves to devastating floods and powerful storms. These events will become more frequent, more intense, and more costly, both in terms of human life and economic damage. We can no longer afford to ignore this crisis. We need to take bold action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, invest in renewable energy, and build more resilient communities. The future is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the era of climate consequences is upon us. The time for action is now.